My name is Oyinlola Sale and this is a Tax Talk. Simplifying tax administration in Lagos State is the prime objective of this show. If you are a taxpayer or you reside in Lagos, this show was created for you. We will be bringing you the big story today. However, let's take the business news first.
This is business news. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed 4 landmark tax reform bills into law to unify Nigeria's fragmented tax system, remove redundant overlaps, boost investor confidence, enhance transparency, and promote coordinated efforts across all levels. President Tinubu described the legislation as a clear departure from previous policies, emphasizing that the reforms are designed to ease the burden on working families, small businesses, and low-income earners while eliminating inefficiencies that have long plagued Nigeria's fiscal structure. The 4 bills are the Nigeria Tax Bill, Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, Nigeria Revenue Service Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Bill. President Tinubu commended the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee for its tireless work, the National Assembly for its rigorous review, the subnational partners for their critical contributions, and Nigerians for keeping faith with the tax reform vision. He added that the newly signed Tax Reform Act indicates the beginning of another era, re-echoing Nigeria's commitment to fair and most open business. Concluding his message, President Tinubu made a nationwide appeal for collective action. And that's it on Business News.
You're watching the Tax Talk. The valuation of what is taxable and how much one should pay can sometimes be a matter of contention between taxpayers and the government. There can be a significant back and forth on this issue. How is this dispute then resolved? What role does the Tax Audit Reconciliation Committee play in this matter? The big story today provides an inroad into this peculiar issue. Today, we have a documentary on tax audits and Tax Audit Reconciliation Committee process for objection. Take a listen.
This is the big story. Tax audit is a statutory aspect of taxation which is as a result of loophole in adhering to compliance by both individuals and businesses. Understanding tax audit process, your rights, obligations, and mechanisms available for reconciliation on disputed areas is crucial for ensuring transparency and mitigating potential liabilities. At the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, tax audits are conducted to ensure compliance with tax laws and verify the accuracy and adequacy of tax returns filed by individuals and businesses. As a routine exercise, tax audits are carried out to examine the tax obligations of individuals and businesses, including discrepancies in the books of account, deductions and non-remittance of payee, pay as you earn, and withholding, amongst others. This ensures that all businesses, regardless of size or industry, are subject to periodic review. In this episode, We will talk you through a step-by-step guide to navigating tax audits with LIRS, with a focus on the objection process and the role of the Tax Audit Reconciliation Committee.
Statutorily, tax audit is a provision of Personal Income Tax Act, Section 47, Subsection 4, and Section 49, Subsection 4, provides that a relevant tax authority can look into matters relating to income tax of an individual and also the profit of an entity, and also look into matters of any entries in the book. So in the context of LRS, we conduct our tax audit because it's an end-to-end process where we issue notification letters to prospective taxpayers, and we agree a date with them, and we engage in field exercise, after which a report is generated, and that report goes through a review process, and consequently they are issued a notice of assessment for which they can object if they don't agree with the additional liabilities in the notices.
During a tax audit, the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service focuses on several key areas to ensure compliance with tax laws and regulations. These areas include payee, pay as you earn, which involves verifying the proper deduction and remittance of tax from employees' salaries, ensuring that tax computations align with the tax laws, as well as reviewing employee records, payroll summaries, and pay slips. The agency also beams its searchlight on withholding tax compliance, personal income tax compliance for business owners and employees, record keeping and documentation, assessment of unreported income, and penalties and interest on late remittances.
Subnational tax authorities have a few number of areas they focus on, like payee, withholding tax, direct assessment, capital gains. Payee is a tax on employee remuneration, where taxpayers that have employees deduct and remit these taxes to LRS. We also look at withholding tax on eligible transactions. That has to do with individuals, enterprises, and partnerships. Some of these transactions may include legal fees, commission, rent, interest, and contracts performed by individuals and business enterprises. So those, and then we look at direct assessment of business owners and partnerships and high net worth individuals. So we also look at other employment remunerations like bonuses, compensations, and other benefits accruing from unemployment. The process is quite structured and transparent and is not arbitrary. So we focus on certain areas like risk assessment models, random selections, and sector-based selections. These are the risk assessment is based on high likelihood of non-compliant, or where there are serious gaps between their tax declarations and evidences available to us.
Once an audit is completed by the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, taxpayers receive a formal notice of assessment on detailing liabilities established for payee and withholding taxes. The notice of assessment outlines the compliance status and any tax liabilities identified. If a taxpayer disagrees with the findings in the notice of assessment issued, they have the right to file an objection. This objection must be submitted in writing to the LIRS within the timeframe specified in the notice of assessment. usually within 30 days of receiving the notice. The legal framework to filing an objection in case of disagreement is provided under Section 58, Subsection 1 of PETA 2004 as amended and Section 68, Subsection 2 of PETA 2004 as amended. The objection must clearly state the grounds for disagreement and include supporting documents.
After the field exercise, evidences are gathered, a report is submitted. Then, based on those reports, where there are discrepancies or additional liabilities to be paid, a notice of assessment is sent to the taxpayer. That is first level of expectation. Then the taxpayer has a right to object within 30 days of receiving the notice. In writing, they apply, and when they are submitting the objection letter, they are expected to provide an analysis of undisputed position, which Section 62 provides that they need to pay upon submission of an objection. So then thereafter, the file will be processed, the objection file will be processed, where a TAC meeting will be initiated. Then the process of them providing additional information to support that amount, those taxes that are disputed.
The Tax Audit Reconciliation Committee, TARC, at the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service plays a crucial role in resolving tax disputes before they escalate to litigation. TARC is a committee established by the LIRS to provide a forum for taxpayers and LIRS to reconcile their differences regarding audit findings. The TARC process generally involves the following. 1. Submission of objection letter by the taxpayer or representative. 2. Pre-hearing preparations. 3. TARC hearing process. 4. Resolution and settlement agreement.
The tax hearing is the first point of reconciliation or tax dispute resolution. At the TAC meeting, the account officer that handles the file will tell the committee, which is comprised of a chairman and other members of the tax representative of the taxpayer or the tax consultant. A TAMA is also present, the TAMA that engaged in the field exercise, and of course, other relevant units. The account officer will explain the issues the issues the taxpayer is contesting, and provide any information if they have submitted documents to support those disputes. Then the committee chairman who chairs the meeting, they discuss a lot of issues about the evidences and other areas that needs to be reconciled. Where there's a need to submit additional documents, the committee will advise that the taxpayer provide it. But where they've all agreed, they signed a memo to agree that all the resolutions have been agreeable to each of the parties. Then a revised notice of assessment is issued.
With technology transforming the global village in tax administration, we obviously have seen the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service embraced digital innovation in enhancing its operations through the e-tax platform.
Globally, we all know that technology is a transformative tool and it scales up efficiency anywhere you adopt it. LRS has been very key in this process, and it's something that the management under the executive chairman is really taking the matter very seriously to ensure that all our processes go through the technological changes. In respect of tax audits, well, technology has supported us in engaging them in terms of, firstly, our e-tax platform allows them to file, make payments, and also check their status. Also, Notification of notification letters can be sent electronically. Assessments can be sent electronically. Then technology has also supported TAC in terms of the fact that you can actually engage in TAC meetings online without you being present in the office. So those are the areas where technology has supported tax audits. Nice. Also, in sharing documents, we have an e-audit platform that's been, uploaded where you can submit your documents online.
By adhering to the best practices and seeking professional advice, businesses and individuals in Lagos State can navigate the tax landscape with confidence. As a taxpayer, avoiding tax audit issues requires proactive compliance, accurate record keeping, and staying informed about tax laws.
Number one is proactive compliance. They should always ensure that their records are well prepared. Evidences of returns and tax payments should be well kept. Provide easy access for tax auditors. Reduce or completely avoid concealment of information and obstruction of tax auditors, because it is viewed as any hostility or obstruction is viewed as the taxpayers has an hidden agenda. So they should also engage with consultants to advise them on their taxes and have interface or represent them at LRS engagements. Generally keep their books tidy, clean, and available. And of course, one thing I would say is tax audits are expected to be done at the taxpayer's office, according to Section 56 subsection 5 and Section 11 of the pay regulation. So they agree dates on time, ensure that the records are available, the records are clean, they are using a standard accounting system for their reporting, their returns are filed on time, deductions are made on time, and of course, generally make available their books upon request.
By staying compliant, keeping accurate records, and filing returns properly, businesses and individuals can avoid penalties.
On the big story, we took a look at the Tax Audit and Tax Audit Reconciliation Committee process for objection. I trust you now have some clarity on the matter. Let's take a break. When we get back, Tax did it. This is still the Tax Talk, and we pride ourselves in being the #1 tax infotainment show in the nation. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay informed on all topics we have treated on the show. You can also join our online community by following the handles on your screen. We also furnish you with those of the LRS as well. You never know when the need to engage them will arise. Up next, Tax Did It.
Fantastic. Very amazing. In fact, it's awesome. I want to use the opportunity to thank the Lagos State Governor for bringing this brilliant idea. And then most importantly, the Commissioner for Agriculture, Honorable Abisola Olusoya.
The markets had been a big relief to everyone. To all the class, it has really helped. You can buy what you want at reasonable price and at affordable price.
It's actually cheap compared to what you get outside. It's cheaper.
Wow, I'm really excited though. Although I came from a far distance and I came with a little money, but I was able to buy a lot with the little I came with.
Niger fresh fish, smoked, except you don't eat. And you know food is life.
It's so nice. This is a very good initiative from the Lagos State Governor. It has given birth to a lot of employment.
It has been a wonderful experience. We want to thank the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for this laudable venture. It is indeed awesome.
For me, I think it's a good initiative. This is much more similar to what we have outside the country. We are having fresh fruit all around.
The quality of the food and the fruits, very fresh.
We go from the studio to the streets to sample your opinion. Time now for Voice on the Streets.
My name is Halima and I'll be taking you on the streets of Lagos.
Well, I think annually is fine.
Yearly.
To be fired annually. I think that's good.
I think it's yearly. Yearly. It's been an amazing time on the streets of Lagos. My name is Halima. Let's head back to the studio.
There can only be one dependable show that you, as a taxpayer in Lagos State or resident, can trust to give you credible information on tax administration within the state. The Tax Talk remains that show. It has been a pleasure delivering today's episode, and I'm sure you'll be back same time, same station next week. My name is Oyinlola Sale, and this is me signing out. Enjoy the rest of your day.